5 stories. Number 5, Rockets at Knicks. Harden and Westbrook returned to earth last night, combining to go just 4 of 16 from deep. The small ball Rockets got out-rebounded by 31. Knicks get the win, 125-123. Nick, you were there. Did the small ball method get exposed?
I mean, if you went into the game wanting to see it get exposed, you saw a team get out-rebounded by 30, and you say, oh, it can't work. But over the course of a month, it's been working great. What happened last night is Russ was not the MVP level Russ he'd been for 2 straight months of basketball, averaging 32, shooting 51%. He said he gave you 20, and he shot 45%. That's not going to work for the Rockets. They need Russ to consistently be an A-level player. Last night, he had a B-level game to go along with Harden's shot being off from 3. That's how you lose.
Also need Russ to get 40 rebounds.
Yeah, getting out rebound by 31 is not going to work.
Well, it's not Russ.
Ball, big ball.
Russ got 40 rebounds.
Medium ball.
Be fine.
All they have to do is be taller.
Medium ball is a nice.
None of that's going to work.
It doesn't rhyme. It doesn't have quite the panache of small ball.
But it's
just get it.
The Rockets are shocked. They're
Number 4, moving on. Bucks taking on the Heat in Miami. Not Giannis's best night. Season low 13 points.
We had to cut a bad Giannis highlight for the first time this year.
Bucks lost to Miami. Miami, though, great at home. Nick, could the Heat be a problem for the Bucks in the playoffs?
I don't believe so, but what I will tell you is this. If the Heat and the Bucks play each other in round 2, which right now it looks likely, the Heat will clearly have the better coach. And so Spo will have something ready for Giannis.
And twice.
And I'm
Are you nervous about this one?
That? No, I don't think the Bucks will face a game 6. I don't think the Bucks will face a game 6.
For his nerves?
NBA in the Eastern Conference side of the bracket. But the Heat will have something for Giannis that I do wonder if LeBron and the Lakers, or if I'm wrong, if the Clippers or the Rockets get there, if they can take something from what Spo designs in round 2 to try to give Giannis troubles in the NBA Finals.
All right, on to the Lakers at number 3. They are good, but I guess they want to be better. They reportedly worked out both Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith, the missing piece? Nick, which one of these two you prefer?
Coach, I don't think the Lakers have a missing piece. I think as presently constituted, they can win the title. But if I have to pick to win these two, I absolutely unequivocally pick JR, who has big moments in big-time playoff games. Dion has none of the above. So to me, JR is the easy answer.
Well, JR and LeBron also have a relationship, so that means he'll probably be there shortly.
JR and Dion, or Dion and LeBron played.
You'd be happy with Dion. Well, I can't wait till they sign Dion. You'd be like, Dion Waiters.
No.
What a guy. The irrational confidence guy. This is exactly what they needed.
I think, right, they're not replacing an injured player. They're replacing a guy who wasn't getting minutes. Yeah. So this would all be surplus anyway.
Anyone ever throw hot soup at you?
Not outside of my family? No.
We can't judge a man just by his worst moments.
That's exactly how we usually judge him.
Mention the
On to number 2, the Washington Redskins spent a first-round pick on a quarterback in last year's draft in Dwayne Haskins. They might do it again this year. They reportedly told Tua Tagovailoa they want to bring him in to compete with Haskins. You like this idea, Coach?
I think if you have a conviction that this is the guy that's going to be your franchise quarterback for a long time, you go ahead and pull the trigger. And it's not unheard of when you have a change of administration for whoever the incumbent quarterback was to lose that protected status. Now, I'd say the difference in Washington is this was somewhat of an ownership pick. So if the ownership still feels that Haskins is the answer, then they're not going to be able to make this move.
Does Chase Young care about this at all? Does Chase Young look at this and be like, huh?
Well, look, Chase Young wants to go as high as he can possibly go, but he knows the quarterback world is a different world, so he's just going to
want to play Chase Young if I was at Washington.
If Tua's on the board at 2, the only way for Washington to get the right value of their pick is to either take him or get a bounty of picks from the team that wants to take him. I think Chase Young is going to be a superstar.
What's the bounty? What's the bounty for you?
Well, it depends on how far down you got to move. If you got to move down just to like the 5th pick of the draft, then a few extra second-rounders go along.
Second-rounders.
On to our top story in Tom Brady now. Recent reports are that Brady has not washed his hands of New England. One anonymous executive even saying the quarterback is, quote, putting pressure on the Patriots to improve the roster. Nick, you buying that an improved roster is all it'll take to get Brady back to New England?
I don't think it's all it would take. I think it would help. The problem is the order of operations here is going to be really tough.
Why?
Well, how do the Patriots improve the roster? they sign players in free agency. How are they going to determine how much money they have to sign players in free agency before they have the quarterback position settled? Right?
That was actually pretty good, coach.
That
made me a little nervous.
If the draft were before free agency, that's one thing. If they had pulled off some massive trade, prior to free agency, that's one thing. But none of those things happen. So this is where for the Patriots, the timeline is messy. You got the first day free agency opens, a $14 million dead cap hit, hits the cap for Brady from last year. So that you're now working with. Brady is going to clearly take meetings with other teams. So are you going to wait on Brady? What if, as you're waiting on Brady, Ryan Tannehill gets franchise tagged and the Bears trade for Cam Newton? And it's like, wait, hold on a second. Are we going to be left without a chair? And so for the Patriots, I do think adding skill position guys would make it more attractive, because one of the reasons I think he might go to the Chargers is, wow, it's a lot of skill position guys they got there. You think you don't think Brady cares about that? You don't think Brady cares about who he's throwing to?
I think the assumption that New England isn't trying to constantly add quality players is so ridiculous. And the idea that this unnamed executive is saying this is what they have to do to get Tom Brady. No, that's not how it works. There is a global picture of how to build a team. And one thing that Bill Belichick has shown consistently is that he has that ability to fill in the voids that the team needs, whether it's on special teams, offense, or defense. So the idea that Tom Brady, who's been one of the most unselfish players in the history of sports, is suddenly now saying, I know what this team needs more than what you know, Bill Belichick, it doesn't make any sense. And in terms of budgeting from a free agency perspective, or knowing what that number is, typically you have a walkaway number. So you're going to say, we're going to pay this amount, this is our ceiling. If he doesn't want to do that, we're walking away. And when you have a walkaway number, once you put that in place, then you budget everything else, and that's how you...
So, Coach, the quarterbacks that you've worked with, do they have the holistic view of the team where you could tell a quarterback, hey, this punter that we got is going to give us great field position?
No, most guys there is no interest in that whatsoever.
But does Brady care about special teams for real?
Yeah, Brady does. What did Brady do the first time he got a commercial? He made sure that his offensive linemen were in the commercial. Go back and look at it. That. His very first commercial, he made sure that the offensive linemen got a bite of the apple, and they were in the commercial as well, because that's how he's wired. Where other guys have been like, oh wait, I gotta give a little bit of money to somebody else, and I can't have all of it. No, I'm not going to do that. That's not how he's wired. I mean, how many Rolexes or ridiculous watches do you need? How many great okay,
right? But
whatever.
But here's the other element to it. I don't think anyone doubts the Patriots are trying to build the best team they can build. But it's election season, right? And during this time of year, we see all these different polls, what matters to people. Young people care way more about climate change than really old people. Because young people are like, man, that could affect me long term. Old people, to a degree, are like, it's not really going to be my problem. Why do I bring it up? If I'm Tom Brady and I've got 1 year, maybe 2 years left, maybe I am not as interested in, well, if we trade a future first-round pick for Odell Beckham, we are in 2023, the cupboard might be bare. Brady said, I'm done. Like, I am worried about right now, this year, forever, Coach, because Brady is so committed to winning. He and Belichick have been perfectly aligned because they both have been worried about the here and the future, because Brady doesn't want the cupboard to be bare for 2018 back in 2012, because he thinks he's still playing.
But right now, on yesterday's show, you said he wanted to play for 3 more years.
Yes,
so he's not worried about the next 2 or 3 years.
I think he wants to play for 3 more years.
And do you think that if you have more weapons on offense, but you play horrible defense and horrible special teams, that you're just going to outscore everybody? New England is based off of complementary football. And one of the things that allows them to do the things that they do is because each component of the team has a role. And Tom sees the value in that. He understands the value of a punter. He understands the value of a great field goal kicker. He understands having a core special teams player who can get changes in field.
Understands
position.
Matthew Slater's value. He understands how great it's
so to
been
go get
his whole career. They've had a great kicker until this season, and he saw the penalty he paid for that. I don't doubt any of that, but I don't think it's fair to have the discussion on aligning tracks all year long. Brady's been done wrong by his weapons, man.
Who said that?
Who says that?
You've said that.
No,
I never said that.
No.
Then who said it?
All year long.
If nobody at this table said it, who said it?
Hold on a second, Coach. All year long, when I was sounding the alarm bell about the decline of Tom Brady, what I heard was, well, the offensive line is hurt. N'Keal Harry hasn't developed. They don't have a tight end. All I heard was that it's not Tom, it's his weapons. That was from you. That was from anybody.
I just got here for the record.
Wilds, but you would have said it because you love him so much. That's all I heard. I'm not creating that narrative. It was there. That it was not Tom, it was the weapons. And so to think that Tom either has to think, well, I'm not good anymore, or they didn't put the right pieces around me. What do you think he thinks is more likely? That he stinks, or that I could have played better, but there weren't the right pieces around me? So, of course, he wants better pieces around him. Of course, he is more, I don't care how selfless you are, he is more interested in a star tight end than an inside linebacker. You cannot convince...
That's the perfect question, Nick. Good job. I know you're fired up, but that's a perfect question.
But I think your characterization of how I presented Tom's situation isn't accurate. All I said is there is a unfair narrative when it comes to New England in the sense that if things happen